Machita Satatam Bhava Chetasa Sarvakarmani Mayi Sannyasa Madhvara Buddhi Yoga Vashidya Machita Satatam Bhava Chetasa Sarvakarmani Mayi Sannyasa Madhvara Buddhi Yoga Vashidya Machita Satatam Bhava Mayi Sannyasa Madhvara Buddhi Yoga Vashidya Machita Satatam Bhava Chetasa Sarvakarmani Mayi Sannyasa Madhvara Buddhi Yoga Vashidya Machita Satatam Bhava Chetasa Sarvakarmani Mayi Sannyasa Madhvara Buddhi Yoga Vashidya Machita Satatam Bhava Chetasa Sarvakarmani Mayi Sannyasa Madhvara Buddhi Yoga Vashidya Machita Satatam Bhava. The word for translation, Chetasa, by intelligence. Sarvakarmani, all kinds of activities. Mayi, unto me. Sannyasa, giving up. Madhvara, under my protection. Buddhi Yoga, devotional activities. Upachitya, taking shelter of. Machita, in consciousness of me. Satatam, 24 hours a day. Bhava, just become. Now, translation by His Divine Grace, C.C. In all activities, please be conducting in all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Bhakti Gandhi purpose. When one acts in Krishna consciousness, he does not act as the master of the world. Just like a servant, one should act fully under the direction of the Supreme Lord. A servant has no individual independence. He acts only on the order of the master. A servant acting on behalf of the Supreme Master is unaffected by profit and loss. He simply discharges his duty faithfully in terms of the order of the Lord. Now one may argue that Arjuna was acting under the personal direction of Krishna. But when Krishna is not present, how should one act? If one acts according to the direction of Krishna in this book, as well as under the guidance of the representative of Krishna, then the result will be the same. The Sanskrit word Madhvara is very important in this verse. It indicates that one has no goal in life, save and except acting in Krishna consciousness just to satisfy Krishna. And by working in that way, one should think of Krishna only. I have been appointed to discharge this particular duty by Krishna. While acting in such a way, one naturally has to think of Krishna. This is perfect Krishna consciousness. One should, however, note that after doing something whimsically, he should not offer the result to the Supreme Lord. That sort of duty is not in the devotional service of Krishna consciousness. One should act according to the order of Krishna. This is a very important point. That order of Krishna comes through receiving succession from the bona fide spiritual master. Therefore, the spiritual master's order should be taken as a prime duty of life. If one gets a bona fide spiritual master and acts according to his direction, then one's perfection of life in Krishna consciousness is guaranteed. So, in this verse, it is basically a highlight of the roadmap that we take to the spiritual world. How so? Let's look at the first line. Chetasa Sarva Karmani. That means with Chetasa is what? By intelligence. And Sarva Karmani is what? All activities. So Chetasa Sarva Karmani. With your intelligence, give up all sorts of material activity. Because giving up is what? Next time. Mai Sannyasa. Give up. Give up. Mai Sannyasa Mat Para. So by giving up all sorts of material activity, then what do? We completely surrender to Krishna. Mat Para. Come under my protection. Buddhi Yoga Upash Tritya. Okay, and then once you are completely surrendered to Krishna, what do? You perform devotional activities, and devotional activities are the shelter of what? Bhakti Yoga. So we are taking shelter of Bhakti Yoga. Machita Satatam Bhava. And how do we do this? We do this by being 100% Krishna conscious for 24/7. So look, this one verse summarizes the entire Krishna consciousness movement. With your intelligence, give up all sorts of material activity and completely surrender unto Krishna. Perform devotional activities and take shelter of Bhakti Yoga. And you do this by being 100% Krishna conscious 24/7. This is, in summary, the entire program of Krishna consciousness. Now, all of these things can only take place under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So, in this purpose, Prabhupada highlights a few very important points. He stresses on the word Matmara, meaning under my protection. He says the purpose, one has no goal in life save and except acting in Krishna consciousness. So what does working in Krishna consciousness even mean? It means two things. The first thing means working with full dependency on Krishna. Okay? Working with full dependency on Krishna. And the other thing is working 100% under Krishna's direction. So let us understand these 2 points. So what is working with full dependency on Krishna? Dependency means, in one word, devotion. Only when you are devoted to somebody are you actually dependent on that person. So we need to devote our entire being to Krishna and also be convinced that Krishna will look out for us. Now the question is, how can we be 100% convinced? If we want to be dependent on somebody, if we want to devote ourselves to somebody, we also have to be convinced that that person will be looking out for us. So how can we get 100% conviction? So we are beings and we have 2 faculties or 2 needs. We have an emotional need and we have also an intellectual need. And if we want to 100% devote ourselves to somebody, both these needs of us have to be satisfied. We need to be satisfied emotionally as well as intellectually for us to be able to devote ourselves. Yeah? So to be 100% convinced, both our emotional needs and intellectual needs have to be satisfied. So in mathematics, devotion is equals to emotion plus intelligence. Okay? So especially like when you're choosing like a job, career or university, we have to be emotionally convinced that I will find joy in the university I go to. Like if I go there, I actually have a good time. And also at the same time, I would have done enough research that this university is good for me. It's not that I will just go into any university hoping that I will be able to do something like that. No, we check emotionally. Is there an emotional pull to that university or to that career choice? And also research whether that career or that university choice is actually good for me. Yeah? Don't we do that? Everything that we do, if we want to be 100% committed, we need to be emotionally convinced and also intellectually satisfied. So that is why Krishna is using the first word, Chetasa. Chetasa means what? By intelligence. So Krishna is urging us to utilize our intelligence to get 100% convinced into knowing the glories of Him, so that we can be 100% convinced to depend upon Him. Krishna speaks and also shows Arjuna his opulences in chapters 10 and 11, so that we can get intellectual satisfaction and confidence in Krishna's power to protect. Krishna further tells Arjuna to declare it boldly that his devotee never perishes. And to this point, there are so many examples that perfectly illustrate the point of how Krishna protects his devotee. In the Bhagavatam, there is the story of Ambarish Maharaj, who was cursed by Durvasa Muni for no apparent reason. There was nothing wrong that Ambarish Maharaj did, but yet he received a Brahmana's curse. And Parikshit Maharaj, when he heard this from Sridhar Goswami, he's like, how did Ambarish Maharaj escape this curse? Because when a Brahmana curses you, it is going to always come to fruition. So how is it that Durvasa Muni's curse did not affect Ambarish Maharaj, and in fact was causing a lot of pain to Durvasa Muni? So then Sridhar Goswami relates the entire story of how Ambarish Maharaj is a pure devotee of the Lord. And it was in the, he was doing Ekadashi. And you know how long he was doing Ekadashi for? He was doing Ekadashi for an entire year. We get tired after one day. Tomorrow is Ekadashi. We are not able to do only 1 day of Ekadashi. And Ambarish Maharaj did it for continuously 1 year. And then at the time of breaking, Durvasa Muni came. And because he came with the court of Ambarish Maharaj has to, of course, host them. And so Durvasa Muni said that, okay, we will take you for inviting us. We'll just go to refreshment or do our Gayatri mantras and the daily Brahminical duties in the river, and then we'll come back and then we'll have Puja together. But Durvasa Muni took a very long time to come back. And Ambarish Maharaj here was wondering, like, the time is going. If you don't break your fast in a particular time, then it's like erasing the entire, you don't get the fruit of that fasting. So Ambarish Maharaj was in a dilemma. He said, what to do now? So he gathered all his ministers, all his priests, all his advisors, and asked, what is it that I can do in this scenario? I have invited Durvasa Muni and his host of disciples, and yet I need to break fast with them, and they are not coming, and I still need to break the fast with time we are running out. So all the Brahmin priests of his ministry, they said that we should make water. Water is considered as food as well as what is food. So if you have water, it is as if you have broken your fast, and also you have not broken your fast. So he did that, and the Durvasa Muni came because it's a great mistake. He knew what had taken place, and as soon as he understood what was happening, he cursed Ambarish Maharaj, and in that curse he cursed him to die, and so he moved ahead, and a huge fiery demon came out and rushed to attack Ambarish Maharaj, and all of a sudden, what appeared? Sudarshan Chakra. He came and he defeated and basically crushed the demon, and then not only that, he started to come towards Durvasa Muni. Now Durvasa Muni looked at this and he was afraid. So he started running here and there, trying to get some relief. And Sudarshan Chakra was coming up closer and closer. And Sudarshan Chakra is as good as thousands and thousands of suns. So it was so powerful, it was so much heat. It was basically scorching the back of Durvasa Muni. And he was not having any relief anywhere in this entire Brahmanda. Wherever he goes, the Sudarshan Chakra is just hanging, just trying to reach him. So Durvasa Muni went to Lord Shiva, to Lord Brahma, to all these great personalities, asking for a way to stop the Sudarshan Chakra from killing him. And all this is like, sorry, we cannot help. So where did he go next? He went to Vaikuntha. And over there, he saw Narayan, Vishnu. And he asked, please save me from your Sudarshan Chakra. And you know what Vishnu said? I did not release Sudarshan Chakra. I won't even smoke weapon. How can you not call it back? He says, Sudarshan Chakra's only job is to protect my devotees. He doesn't even listen to me. If he sees that my dear devotee is being harassed, he will just leave without my permission. So, what is the solution to this? Just go back to Ambarish Maharaj and beg for his forgiveness. And so, Durvasa Muni came all the way back to Ambarish Maharaj. And you know how long this whole Durvasa Muni is traveling that entire Brahmanda took? It took another 1 year. And Ambarish Maharaj was waiting at the door, waiting for Durvasa Muni to come back so that he could ask for forgiveness. So Ambarish Maharaj was for 1 year, 1 more year, waiting at the door, hoping that Durvasa Muni comes back so that he can ask for forgiveness. And now you see, look at this wonderful sight. The Durvasa Muni comes and he falls flat onto Ambarish Maharaj. And Ambarish Maharaj feels very ashamed. He's like, he's such a great personality, what am I? And he offers such wonderful prayers. Ambarish Maharaj offers wonderful prayers to Sudarshan Chakra. And finally Sudarshan Chakra returns back to Brahma. This is the stories of how Vishnu protects his devotee. Right? Now, third line, Buddhi Yoga Upashritya, taking shelter of Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna is urging Arjuna to utilize his buddhi to do yoga. So buddhi yoga is not a yoga on its own. Buddhi yoga can be utilized in different ways. Buddhi means intelligence and yoga means to connect. But you can connect intelligence in many ways. You can connect intelligence in doing work for Krishna. So buddhi yoga in that context. So when you utilize intelligence to do work for Krishna, that is Karma Yoga. If you utilize your buddhi to do devotional activities, that is bhakti yoga. Similarly, buddhi yoga depends on the context. In this verse, what is the context? It is upashitya. Upashitya means what? What was Prabhupada said? Upashitya means taking shelter of. So, do buddhi yoga where you take shelter of Krishna, and that is what? Bhakti yoga. So here, buddhi yoga means bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga is the supreme path where we get both the emotional fulfillment and intellectual satisfaction. And karma yoga and jnana yoga, they find their perfection in bhakti yoga. Right? So all this was trying to understand how we can be 100% dependent on Krishna. Once we get to know, first we need to know intellectually who Krishna is. And that intellectual understanding has to develop into having an emotional connection. Because if there is no emotional connection, there is no love. It's very dry. Bhakti becomes very dry and stale. Yeah? If there is no emotional connection. Just knowing facts and figures about Krishna is not going to help anyone. You need to be able to have an emotional connection with him. And throughout the Gita, Krishna is hinting at the point where you have to have this emotional connection. But if we want 100% connection, emotion is good. At the same time, we need intellectual connection. In fact, all our previous acharyas, they were highly regarded scholars. They were scholars, they were very intelligent. But then their intelligence also gave rise to profound depth of emotion, profound depth of connection with Krishna. And that is what counts. And that is why just a day before, yesterday, Anand was saying that there is no one can stick against a bhakta because the bhakta is really intelligent. Yeah? Now the second point. So the first point is what? That we are working with full dependency on Krishna. And the second point is what? We are working 100% under Krishna's direction. So Prabhupada writes this in the purport. So people always raise the point that Arjuna personally had Krishna's from whom he could take instruction and direction. But what about us? We don't have any direct connection to Krishna. So the answer that is given is that we have to follow Guru, Sastra and Shastra and the result is the same. But what is the proof of this? Give me the proof that by following Guru, Sastra and Shastra, the result is the same as having personal audience with Krishna. What is the proof? Do you think the proof is here? How many of you think the proof is here?
Krishna saying surrender to me, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying surrender to Krishna. We are saying surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna. So all are
same thing, yes. But in the Gita as well, there is proof of how following Guru can reveal to you Krishna. And this is in 1875. When Sanjay tells to Dhritarashtra, by the mercy of Vyasadeva, I am able to so let's see, 1875. Yeah. Vyasa Prasadat Shrutavan Ekam Guyamaham Param Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishna Sakshat Kartaya Swayam. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard his most confidential talks directly from the master of all mystics of Krishna, who is speaking personally to Arjuna. Sanjay is not even on the battlefield. He is in the courtroom with Dhritarashtra, and only because of the mercy of Guru is he able to have direct vision and also hearing the same Krishna Katha. And if you look at the entire purport Prabhupada is written to this verse, it is highlighting this point very much of how Guru is like a transparent medium. as Prabhuji just said, because everyone is saying the same thing. It's a transparent medium. And that is why if you just follow Guru Shastra Sadhu, it's as good as having Krishna's personal audience. And then the last point that Prabhupada writes in this purpose is that one should, however, note that after doing something whimsically, we should not offer the result to the Supreme Lord. That sort of duty is not in the devotional service of Krishna consciousness. And this is, and so what does this refer to? This refers to Karma Yoga, where first of all, doing something whimsically means doing something for my own desire. I like to do this, I want to do this, I will do it, and then I will give the result to Krishna. So first is what, there is a selfish interest, that because I like doing this, I am doing this for myself, and then I offer the result to Krishna. So at least that is yoga, but it's not pure yoga, it's not pure 100% bhakti yoga. While what happens is, in the crux of this verse, is that you offer all your activities to me under my direction. So if you are following Krishna, you are only going to be doing things that Krishna likes. You are not going to be doing what you want to do. So automatically, your intention of even before starting doing the work is centered on who? On Krishna. So automatically the results are going to be centered for who? Krishna. We don't have to make a separate endeavor to offer fruits to Krishna, because your intention of prior to work is already Krishna. And this is the difference between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Now this section from 56 to 66, Krishna is basically summarizing the entire essence of Bhakti. And it gets gradually more refined when it reaches its perfection in 65 and 66. Okay? So I think that is all for this class. If anyone has any questions, any comments, please.
Also, this very important point is sentiment and culture. The Uttras are not sentiments only, they are cultural also. Give an example important food expression about the Bhagavad Gita and the Brahmin Arjun. While reading Bhagavad Gita, they were hearing. So he was, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, why you hearing? So there was intelligence behind that. I am hearing because my guru is saying you should pray, but I am not that much qualified. And same time I am hearing because of how Krishna is great. He became driver of. So this example, another example is given about Mochi, no? The suit maker. So he was not only sentiments was dancing like that, no. He has the reason behind that to dance. So how Krishna is great, he can do anything and everything. So these are example of the intellectual and sentiment. So the devotees are just dancing is not like that. There is a bhava is there. And with bhava there is a intellectual is why I am dancing. I am dancing for Krishna, otherwise I have to dance for the mind. So intelligence is there. So everywhere the devotees of the Lord, whatever activities they are doing, these two things are there. Intellectual and sentiment. Both has to be. Remain intellectual, become jnani. Remain sentiments, become sahajiya. So together, most other people in two categories. Maybe some jnani and some sahajiya. But devotee very rare. You get the devotee very rare. The power is there, but same time, intellectual are there. Their power is depends on the scripture and sadhu and guru.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare. Bhagavad Gita ki, Shri Bhagwan
की जय।